Hey, you lovely lot. We thought we'd do a bit of a video each, and it's what we've called the shit mum video. Um, we want to tell you our experiences of being a shit mum or feeling like we're a shit mum. I spent most of my children's life thinking I was a crap mother. Okay. I had a really quite traumatic experience giving birth to my eldest son. And I didn't particularly bond with him very well or very quickly or very easily. And that's immediately started my furrow into being a shit mum. I also really struggled breastfeeding. So that within 5 days, I was not allowed out of hospital. I couldn't feed him. He was losing weight, so they wouldn't let me out. I was desperate, absolutely desperate to get home, and I just felt shit. Having a baby makes you feel shit anyway because the hormones are all over the place. But it was added to the fact that now I wasn't breastfeeding him properly, and now that was making him lose weight. There was a massive added pressure that that's what you were supposed to do. So that started then, really. So the best part of it'll be nearly 31 years ago now. And it didn't get any better. It didn't get any better through either of my other two pregnancies, either bringing the other two up. None of it got any better. It just kept going on and on and on. And something would happen with the boys, and that would find even more ways of hammering it home. My middle son was quite poorly the first few years of his life. He was in and out of hospital for various simple things, but it was literally he had operations for the 5 operations within 5 years. Only small minor operations, but it was continually from the age of 2. He was in and out, and he was quite poorly. He never slept. He didn't sleep until he was 6 years old. So that wasn't right. Then my youngest was born, and I always felt he was dragged up. By that time I was busy with 2. I was working sort of, part-time, and it just adds. And my eldest really struggled to go to school. I remember leaving him at the school when he first started, and I sobbed and he was sobbing, and it compounds all the time. And as when they were growing up and they were teenagers, they go through the usual teenage angst, which most teenagers do. But that reinforced it because there were times some of them really struggled, and I mean really struggled, really, really struggled. And you're thinking, shit, where have I gone wrong? What have I done? Where should I have gone? If only I'd done this, or if only I'd done that. And I remember having a conversation with one of them, and and him saying to me, I probably wouldn't have had all the problems I've had, medically wise, if you'd breastfed me. And I know that. I know that that's true. But I made that decision at the time, and I'd made that decision not to breastfeed him or my youngest because, at the end of the day, I'd struggled first, so I wasn't going to try again. I was scared to try again for the fact that it would reinforce how crap I already felt. And obviously, as years progressed, breastfeeding became more and more, this is what you should do. So there was a bigger pressure. And it was just relentless, and it just seems relentless. And you go on and on, and you see, you go to schools or you go to nurseries, and you see other kids and you see other mums and you sit there and think, God, they've really got their shit together and I'm really struggling. I don't know how I even get out the door some days with them, when you're arguing and you're trying to get 3 pairs of shoes on and one's doing one thing and one's doing another thing and, one's arguing the toss with you. At times you just want to scream and pull your hair out. And and then that didn't change when they were adults. It's only recently, and I'm talking really recently, this year recently, that I have started to work on the shit mum. Because even now, with them being grown up, and they're well into adulthood, I've still felt like I'm a shit mum. Always felt like I'm a shit mum. That's never changed. Ever. It's not since that day I had my eldest. That feeling, and that feeling I was doing a crap job and that I was never good enough, and that I'd really, really messed my kids up, beyond belief messed my kids up, has that stopped? And I'm not saying it's stopped now. I'm 52 this year, and I still get moments where I think, no, you majorly messed up. You did a really crap job. And I just want to say that actually we know how that feels. So whether you've got kids or whether you haven't got kids, or whether your kids are young or grown up, that feeling of I'm a shit mum exists in most of us. And even if we're really, really good at hiding it, which some of us are, it still exists, even if we don't acknowledge the fact that sometimes we feel that way. I'm sure it exists in most of us. So what do? You realise actually you're not a shit mum. Your kids are fed, they're watered, they're looked after, they've got a roof over their head. They do what, quote unquote, what normal society, expects them to do. And I hate that. I really hate that. So it never goes away. And like I say, it's something I'm still working on now. I'm still working on that I'm a shit mum. Because it comes from a place of lack, that you're not good enough. And to be honest, as a mum, you never feel good enough. You're striving to do the best for them. And learning this stuff, we realise we mess our kids up, no matter how hard we try not to, because until we learn that there is a different way, we're only repeating what other people have shown us. And that's been a big lesson, a massive lesson for me, in that, a lot of the things my boys have done is because I was showing them one way and saying words that meant another. It's okay, I take responsibility for that. I don't now beat myself up for that. I take responsibility that happened. But at the time I didn't know any different. At the time I didn't know about this stuff. I didn't know that there was a different way. And I didn't realise that actions were saying one thing, some words were saying something else. So don't ever feel like you're the only person that feels like that. Don't ever feel you're the only person that feels like, that they've done something wrong when it comes to their kids and stuff like that, because we all do. We don't intend to. None of us intend to. And I can't wait to share this with other generations, So maybe kids in the future won't be as badly messed up like we were, or like we've done, Just know that you are enough as you are good enough, and you are a good mum, And until you learn that there is a different way, you're only doing what it is that you were taught to do, or you were shown as an example to do. You know? So we get it, we understand it. You know, and I certainly, for one, like I say, I've felt that for 32 years of my life, that was the case, you know? And it didn't mean I didn't love my son. I love all my boys, you know. But I just struggled to begin with. I really struggled, you know, and I struggled for quite a while. But the good old Lynn in those days kept quiet. She didn't say anything. She carried on. I never not looked after him, ever. I just wasn't doing a very good job of looking after me. Well, to be honest, which is fairly standard, you know? So it happens. We never intentionally do anything to our kids, never. Well, most of us don't, you know, but we don't intentionally do anything to hurt our kids. So don't beat yourself up about it. You are doing a good job, and remember that when you feel shit as a parent, that comes from because you feel shit about yourselves. But generally, you're not. Nobody is a bad person at all. You know, so just remember, when you're feeling like that, you are good enough as you are. You are doing an amazing job as a mum, as a parent. You're doing your best, you know, and that nobody can ask any more than that. And remember that you are not the only one that feels like that at all. Everybody I know feels like that or has felt like that. Okay? So you're doing an amazing job, remember. And if you need to chat, you know where we are. You can reach out, give me a message, and I'm happy to chat. All right? You take care.